One of the ways that they're losing the narrative is, as we said, in Syria. It's about the sarin gas attack. And in an article on InfoWars today, U.S. military, al-Qaeda rebels have produced sarin gas for chemical attacks in Syria. Now, this is a document that was leaked originally classified a document that was leaked to WorldNet Daily. And in this document, they described sarin gas that was seized in Turkey as not being military grade, but rather as a kitchen variety, which corresponds to sarin gas used in the August 21st chemical attack near Damascus, according to Dr. Yosef Bodansky, a top terrorism expert. Bodansky said that unlike military-grade sarin, the sarin used in the Damascus attack did not accumulate around the victim's hair and clothing. If it did, said Bodansky, the sarin molecules would have detached from the victims and killed or injured the first responders who touched the victims' bodies without protective clothing and masks. Now, this comes after we already saw reports from the UN back in March saying that they believed that the sarin gas that was used then was done by the rebels. We also saw reports from Hillary Mann Leverett, who was an official in both the Bush and the Clinton administrations. And she said that she knew that that the Russian officials and the Chinese officials had gone in and tested this because they were still in Syria. And she said these were homemade rockets in the March attack, and that the sarin gas was not stabilized, which also indicated that it was not militarily produced. This is the same thing that we're hearing now from the leaked U.S. document. So we've had the United Nations, we've had China, we've had Russia, and now we have a U.S. military document that was leaked. All of them say that the rebels have used homemade sarin gas, homemade delivery back in March. So we know they have that capability. And we know that going into Syria in order to take out chemical weapons and saying, as John Kerry did, that it doesn't matter who had the sarin, it doesn't matter who used the sarin, we have to go in and take it out because weapons of mass destruction like sarin gas exist in Syria. That's simply not the case. So we have multiple sources saying that it was homemade, and this is very important. The excerpt that I read before from Dr. Yosef Bodansky about homemade sarin being different from military-grade sarin, this is one of the things that caused military experts to question whether it was even sarin gas in the first place when it came out. Remember, we were talking about that. We said, yes, it looked like they died from a chemical attack, but with sarin, when the people went in, the first responders would die. Or even if they were able to survive, they would have severe neurological damage, and we didn't see anybody wearing protective clothing. This was something that had been seen when sarin gas was used in the Tokyo subways. You have to wear protective clothing or you too will become a victim. But with the homemade sarin gas, it is not as potent as a military-grade gas. But we're told that we have to invade Syria. We're told that we have to drop bombs in order to stop the weapons of mass destruction. Is that really something that they're concerned about? Is it really the deaths of children that they're concerned about? And of course, those are inflated numbers. When Doctors Without Borders talked about it looking as if it was a nerve agent that was used, they said that they believed that the casualties were about 350. But when the State Department got it, John Kerry said that it was over 1,400, and he said it was over 400 children. Do they really care about the deaths of children?
We have heard that 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And you know, is the price worth it?
I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it. It is a moral question, but the moral question is even a larger one. Don't we owe to the American people and to the American military and to the other countries in the region that this man not be a threat?
So the U.S. government has a tolerance for the death of children, even 500,000 children, when it suits their agenda. I'm reminded of what Henry Kissinger once said. He said, we have no permanent allies, only permanent interests. Well, it seems that the U.S. government has no permanent morals, only permanent agendas. That's it for our news portion tonight. Now, as we pointed out earlier, if you really want to change things, if you really want to wake up people, you need to get people watching authentic media. One of the ways that you can do that is to support Prison Planet TV and help your friends to watch Prison Planet TV. Up to 10 of them can watch along with you at the